Hey there, this is Mike with BuzzTox. I'm going to go over the promo for episode 4 of HBO's Watchmen, theorize a bit about what we're going to see in the next episode, so there may be spoilers ahead. In this episode, we're going to see the appearance of Lady True, the trillionaire owner of True Corporation or True Industries. She was first hinted at in episode 2 in the newsstand scene, where one of her employees picks up all of the latest newspapers which True reads. This scene was meant as a nod to Adrian Veidt, who would consume vast amounts of media and be able to understand mass psychology so well that he could predict market trends, and this allowed him to grow the Veidt Industries, a multi-billion-dollar company, which we learned in episode 3 was acquired by Lady True. We also learned in episode 3 that True built the Millennium Tower in Tulsa, where they seem to have a headquarters and are making plans for humanity. The True Corporation has capitalized financially on the absence of Dr. Manhattan, creating a cult around him in which people flock to prayer booths which profess that they speak directly to Dr. Manhattan on Mars. We don't know whether this is true or not, but we know that Dr. Manhattan really didn't care much about humanity in the comic books, so why would he now? True may have altruistic intentions, but these devices are a manipulation to humanity, giving them hope that Dr. Manhattan still cares about them. I see True as the anti-villain of this story. She's the new Supreme Watchman, like Veidt in the original comic series, who believes that she knows best for humanity, and she'll make sacrifices in morality in order to achieve her goals. We see True unexpectedly showing up at an average family's home in this trailer, and we also see Angela and Agent Laurie Blake going to True's Millennium Tower to question the CEO. And this reminded me a lot of Adrian Veidt's headquarters called Karnak, which was in Antarctica, which also had a large dome-like place filled with plants. So they're likely going there after following a lead in the investigation into the death of the chief. So this inspired some questions like, is Lady True one of Will Reeves' friends in high places, which took him to safety at the end of episode 2? Is True manipulating Reeves for her own goals? We also see Angela breaking into somewhere, maybe it's the Millennium Tower, during this trailer, and she finds a family tree which might shed some light on her own backstory with Will Reeves. The trailer also shows Looking Glass being visited by Angela, who shows him the KKK robes which she found in Chief Crawford's hidden closet. Interestingly, Looking Glass is out of costume, and he seems to be living in a fallout shelter of some kind with supplies. Hopefully we learn more about his backstory in this episode, but the shelter seems to indicate his paranoia, maybe about the end of the world, maybe about being hunted by the Rorschach cult. I'm hoping that we learn more about his backstory during this episode, and that we learn that maybe he was a part of he was present at the 1985 squid attack in New York. I keep thinking about that original trailer for the show and the young man who's naked standing among a bunch of corpses at a fair, and I'm thinking this might be a flashback scene to Looking Glass, and maybe we'll have a funhouse scene in the fair filled with mirrors which inspire his Looking Glass persona. It's just an idea for now, but let's see what happens in the future. Back to the trailer, we see Angela getting rid of some evidence, probably Judd's KKK robes, showing that she doesn't want the chief's association with the KKK getting out, even though she still doesn't completely know the truth about Judd yet. We also see Adrian Veidt continuing his experiments, presumably his attempts to escape his self-made prison. This time it looks as if he's succeeded in some capacity. Now in our last video I talked about my idea that he's actually on Mars, indicated by the frozen Mr. Phillips corpse who was exposed to space. Presumably that is a space pod we see in this episode, which Adrian will attempt to get back on Earth. As to how he got into this situation, it's going to still be a mystery. Did he make a deal with Dr. Manhattan? Or maybe he made a deal with Lady True, who organized this scenario for him? It's all interesting stuff, and I can't wait to see what happens on the next episode, so keep watching. Thanks.